What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Thursday's episode of Two Guys Rambling.
You already know who we are. We don't gotta explain that.
We don't gotta explain. I'm Matt.
I'm somebody.
He is somebody. What do you call it? I hope you enjoyed Thursday's episode. Nope. Hope you enjoyed Monday's episode. I'm happy that you're back here again with us today. Today we're going to talk about everything going down in Israel and Palestine.
And World War III.
And the potential for World War III. That's probably the biggest thing we're going to talk about today, because we're going to talk about how Ukraine and everything going around in Israel and Palestine, how it could potentially lead us into a third war conflict. And I don't think enough people know about this. Mm-hmm. And I don't think enough people are paying attention to it.
Honestly.
Because it is real. And it is on the brink. It is on the brink. Like, I cannot stress that enough. So please stay here, watch the whole episode, listen to everything we got to tell you, and don't just take it from us. Go listen to other people too, and listen to their input and see what they got to say, and then verify everything that we're talking about, because I promise you we know what we're talking about. So just double check us. But before you do all that, make sure you like, make sure you comment, and make sure you subscribe. Do all those things so that way you're constantly being updated about what Matt and Javi are talking about, and especially when it comes to the news, because we try to stay as on top of that as possible. Mm-hmm. And we do a lot of research, and we're interested in this kind of stuff. But we're also gonna do some fun things, like Javi's gonna watch Loki, and we're gonna talk about Loki. And I think we should go see the Miss Marvels 2 thing, or the Marvels. I think it's called the Marvels. I think that was a little sexist of me, because I called it Miss Marvels, and I don't think it's got anything to do with Miss. It just because they're all girls, so I just assumed Miss. It's all the Marvels. So we're gonna go see that, and then
the Marvels, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, Captain Marvel.
Yeah, all three. All the one where you see the trailer and it's all the female Captain Marvels. Yeah, I am watching that.
Jesus Christ! All right. That's a TikTok. I hope you know that right now. Right now that's going on TikTok, because that's fucking hilarious. This fucking guy.
The one with the 3K. I ain't watching.
Oh god.
Oh god.
All right, so I'm not gonna do.
I'm not gonna fucking watch that.
So with that being said, like, comment, and subscribe. Jesus Christ.
I hate Captain Marvel.
Oh, God, that's fucking hilarious, dude.
She thinks she can just show up like Superman, like, I'm going to save the day.
And do nothing?
Yeah, and while over there, my boy Iron Man's fucking giving his life.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally. I'll never forget that. And they're like, thank God we had her. And everybody's like,
what?
Did she do anything?
It's like, what?
She took down like one ship, and that was
She showed up with half her head shaved, like, cool, bro.
What is this? Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Javi's gonna teach us all a little something today, because Javi's really good when it comes to. Javi should be the ambassador to the United Nations.
Hey, do it, please.
Because Javi will make things fucking happen. All right, Javi, walk us into this. Tell us.
It all started October 7th of 2023.
Jesus Christ.
So essentially, Hamas, if you haven't heard by now, they went into Israel and killed 1,300 people, and we're not including the hostages and stuff.
October 7th, right?
Yep, October 7th. I remember, because I was asleep in Austin. Matt wasn't able to go. Hey, Matt's manager, if you watch this. Anyway,
Fuck. Well then.
Anyway.
And he's going to walk out to work. Hey, Matt, you mind if we have a talking mouth? Yeah, you're fired. We're
so anyway, I remember being asleep and waking up, and I have a group chat with Sam and Brandon, and they were like Brandon was sending videos of like combat in Israel, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? I was like, I just went to bed. So I look, and so essentially Hamas, so the number is anywhere from 1,000 to like 2,500 Hamas fighters. So if you don't know, Hamas we label them a terrorist organization, because they kind of are.
Kind of?
I mean, they are. They are a group within the Gaza Strip. They are generally Palestinians, of course. So they are funded by the Iranians, and also like our aid that goes to them. Like, we give the Gaza Strip millions, even of dollars in aid. And so what Hamas will do with that aid is they will go.
Didn't Barack Obama ship pallets of money?
Yeah, I think so.
Look that up. Barack Obama ships pallets of money to Palestine. I want to say it was Palestine.
Hold on, I'm trying to make sure.
You're trying to make sure which part? Are you doing the Google?
So Hamas won elections in Gaza. So they were voted into power.
Oh,
by
yeah,
the
they're the government in power.
Yes. So people are like, well, no, they're not. Like, you know, they're not, because if you have guys walking around with guns scaring you all the time, like, you know what I mean? So essentially what happened was Hamas launched a massive attack on Israel with, like I said, anywhere from 1,500 to like 1,000 to 2,500 fighters. So they came in on paragliders. They came in on trucks. They blew through the border fence.
What's up?
It says the U.S. sent a plane with $400 million in cash to Iran.
Oh, yeah. That was Iran.
What year was it?
Well, no, Joe Biden just released $11 billion to them.
This was
Jesus
posted
Christ.
August 4th, 2016.
Yeah, Joe Biden just released a couple billion to Iran, and they're saying some of that money went to help plan, because they say they've been planning this since August to July. So anyway.
Fuck yeah.
So,
good job, Joe Biden.
Essentially, Hamas went into Israel, and they were going... So it was a holiday for the Israelis, so their bases were not at full strength. So it's like the War of Yom Kippur, when they were having their religious holiday. Their military back then their bases weren't fully staffed. So when that war happened back then, okay, everyone, you got to get ready for this. Israel has been in so many fucking wars. So I'm pretty sure Matt has like the list. But so essentially they went in and they blew holes inside the border fence and stuff like that. They started going house to house. Like, we're talking civilian houses, not military houses. Like, we're not talking barracks, we're not talking anything. They're going to civilian houses, kicking in doors. Imagine that. You're at home, chilling with your family. A group that hates you comes in, kicks in your door, kills everybody. And they were also, the night before, they said they launched anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 rockets into Israel, which is the most they've launched in one night. And they're not smart rockets. They're not precision guided. They're dummy rockets. Yeah. So where they land, they land. Where they explode. So
that's how
Hamas,
that's how they bomb their own fucking hospital parking lot.
Yep. Yeah. So Hamas, they don't care. They're down to kill civilians or whatever, because let's get something straight. Muslims do not like Jews
at all.
I will say those extreme Muslims don't like Jews. There's probably some moderate Muslims, some
just like there's any moderates,
or westernized Muslims that actually are out there right now with their Jewish brothers hand in hand, trying to show a united front that not all Muslims hate Jews. But in that part of the world, most Muslims, a majority of the Palestinians and Hamas and Iran and most of those countries around there hate the Jews. They hate Israel. So they went over there, paragliders, trucks full of soldiers. You can find the footage. Hamas uploaded their footage, their propaganda footage of them killing Israelis. So there was a huge festival in southern Israel. Yeah. And they killed, I think the number was like...
Sean, double check this.
500 or 600 people. So think about that. You're at a music festival. You're partying with your friends. And Hamas fighters pull up in pickup trucks and start killing everybody. You can even find video from a Israeli police officer who posted him going and all the dead people, all the dead bodies. So you're there partying with your friends. Hamas rolls up on their paragliders and everything in trucks, starts killing everybody. People were trying to drive out of there. Hamas was dressed like IDF fighters, Israeli Defense Force, getting them to stop cars and killing everyone in the car. They set up checkpoints. Christ. There's nowhere to go. You're it. People were hiding inside of, there's a video. They were hiding inside of like, it looked like a trailer or something. And there's dead bodies everywhere. And they're trying to hide among the dead. They found a hole in the desert. Some of them jumped inside the hole. Some of them were faking death. How many?
What? 260 people.
260 people. How many did they take hostage?
And then you can find video of Hamas fighters saying, these women Jews are for hostages. These ones here are to rape.
Yep.
And so there's another video of them going to, so you have to join the military in Israel at 18. You have to serve, I think, for 2 or 3 years. Don't quote me on that. And there's a video of one of the, she's like an analyst, basically, like a security analyst. She's crying, hiding under her desk. and Hamas uploaded it, and they just smoke her. They just kill her.
Jesus. What is it?
It says at least 245 people.
Damn.
At
Yeah,
least.
so 500 people.
Because I think they're still looking and scouring through the, like it's a crime scene,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
There's even a video of a Hamas fighter going to every porta potty and shooting through the door, just in case someone's hiding in there.
It is believed that at least 245 people were taken hostage by Hamas.
Shit.
Babies, children, women, the elderly, and disabled were among those taken hostage. According to IDF spokesman Lieutenant Colonel Jonathan Concricus. I don't know how.
And some people are like, "Oh, those numbers are inflated," but then we go and we're like, "No, they're not."
Yeah, we go verify. Yeah, the
And-
United States goes and verifies.
And Hamas fighters even uploaded footage of them going to different communities. And like there was one where a dog ran up to them and they just killed the dog. And then an old lady, you can see her through the glass and they shoot through her glass door and kill her. And then I just saw a video this morning of the IDF fighting because I guess some of the Hamas fighters took over a house.
Okay.
And it's the cops like shooting it out with them and you're watching this on a Ring camera system.
Oh my God.
Like it was horrible. So you have to like everyone's like, oh well, why are the Israelis invading Gaza? Like that is so messed up. So imagine this: the cartel does something like that here on American soil. They hit, let's say, Texas, New Mexico, some of our cities, and they kill 1,300 Americans. And it's the cartel, okay? But some of the communities in Mexico are kind of, you know what? No, we'll say it's the Mexican government because Hamas was elected in 2006. So basically, they invade, they attack. Are we not going to go? If they look at what we did to Iraq, even though it wasn't the Iraqis who did 9/11, look at what we did to Saddam Hussein over 2 airplanes, well 3, two hit the Twin Towers, 1 hit the Pentagon. Look at what we did to Iraq. We completely destroyed their military. We completely changed them as a nation. Why do people think Israel wasn't going to react the way they did?
Yeah.
Israel doesn't care.
They have the right to defend themselves.
But at the same time, Israel's always been like this. So, like in the Olympics, I think it was in the 80s, when those terrorists went and killed the Jewish Olympians from Israel. You know what Israel did? They had their Mossad agents, when they found out where those terrorist families were and everything, they killed everybody in the house. Grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, sisters, brothers, everybody.
The Israelis?
The Israelis. Because they say it was more of an... You can't kill an ideology unless you wipe everybody out. So they went to those terrorist houses and killed everybody. Same thing in Iran. Whenever they find nuclear scientists, Mossad, they'll go and smoke their nuclear scientists in Iran. We can't even get spies in Iran, but the Israelis are able to do it.
Damn.
They'll even fly into Iran and bomb stuff. Israel, they just bombed places in Syria. So after this happened, it, of course, becomes huge because now Israel is gearing up to invade the Gaza Strip. And it's like jam-packed. There's a lot of Palestinians in there. So you have countries like Iran, Lebanon, Jordan, that's around there, Egypt, and we can't forget Afghanistan, Iraq. That's already like 6 countries I just named, right? Then you have, of course, Russia. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because a lot of these other countries after that happened, Iran was immediately like, hey, if this escalates and this happens in Gaza, we're going to get involved. Mind you, Iran funds almost every terrorist group in the area. There's an Iraq militant group that they fund. There's a couple groups in Syria that they fund. They fund Hamas. They fund Hezbollah, which is out of Lebanon. And then they've also fund the Taliban, if you didn't know that. And essentially, and Yemen, the fighters in Yemen that are fighting the Saudis, they fund them too. So it's kind of funny. We give them their millions and billions of dollars, the Iranians, and then they go and give these terrorist groups the money.
Yeah.
To kind of, because Iran isn't going to use their military. Because why am I going to use my military if I can use the terrorist organizations my military meets with? My military generals meet with and advise them. Because I'm not directly technically doing it. These terrorist groups are. It's like a proxy war. So anyway, Iran said, hey, if this certain things happen, we're going to get involved. And then Hezbollah, which is out of Lebanon, said they've been freaking trading shots at southern Lebanon, the Israelis and the Lebanese. It's not the Lebanese military, but the Lebanese military is kind of sympathetic because they're also Muslims.
Yeah.
To the cause of the Palestinians. So they're kind of like, you know what I mean? They're kind of allowing it. So Hezbollah's like launching mortars. They're doing suicide drones. They're launching ATGMs. And then in Yemen, so we're putting a second aircraft carrier strike group, I believe, in that area. So Yemen keeps launching I think they're the Houthis. Those are the fighters in Yemen. They're launching ballistic missiles from Yemen over the ocean, sometimes over Saudi Arabia, to hit Israel. But we've been shooting down every single one. And then Israel too, first video of ever space warfare, they got one of their F-35s almost to like outside of the atmosphere, and they have video of them shooting down like one of the ballistic missiles.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so that's happening. And then so Hezbollah said they'll join if they get involved. If Israel does certain things in the Gaza Strip, they're going to get involved. And we said if Hezbollah joins, the U.S., America, that we're going to get involved. And then Iran said, okay, if you get involved, we're going to get involved. The Taliban was asking the Iraqis for safe passage and the Iranians to go through their countries to help fight the Israelis. So the Taliban's asking for that. And then there's that Iraqi militant group I told you about.
Okay.
They're in Lebanon right now, just in case they're going to open up another front. They just met with one of the Iranian generals to talk about it. And then in Syria, there's groups in Syria that say they're going to go help Hamas. They're going to help fight Israel. And so Israel went and bombed 2 of the military airfields in Syria so that the Iranian general that was going to meet with them couldn't meet with them. And then our bases in Iraq have been getting hit by freaking mortars, drone strikes all over again, our bases in Syria. So we went and bombed the Iranian-backed groups in Syria. And it's starting to and then I think we also put I think I may be wrong. It was some type of like amphibious assault ship where like all the landing crafts and the AAVs can come out of, along with like helicopters, to potentially, if it comes to it, have Marines get in there. And then the Marine Corps canceled the Marine Corps ball.
Oh, yeah.
And it was done by the general who's over the Middle East. Because he says with the climate of everything, and they might be in operations and stuff, and they need everyone like basically ready to go. And Angry Cops, a YouTuber, he has a good little kind of YouTube video about it. Yeah. And then the Army also, they increased recruiters. So now they're trying to get more recruiters. And they said last time this happened, it was before we invaded Iraq. Then they're letting more people be the guys who show up to your house when your loved one dies in combat and says, oh, your brother or your sister died or your son or whatever died in combat. Like, I'm sorry for your loss. They're the ones who tell you that. So they're increasing that. They're increasing recruiters. We already have 2 aircraft carrier strike groups over there. Iran is saying, hey, like, we're going to get involved if this pops off. Russia kind of saying the same thing, but I don't think they can with what's going on in Ukraine.
Yeah, with what's going on in Ukraine, yeah.
And then you have like Egypt. Okay, what's funny is nobody wants to take the Palestinians, the refugees. Egypt said, no, we're not going to take them. And if you push them on our border, we're going to fight Israel because we don't want them.
Oh my God. So they're going to fight Israel, not the Palestinians?
No, because they're not going to fight their Muslim brothers.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, because they don't want them. And so I always thought that was funny. Everyone is sympathetic to the Palestinians, but nobody wants the refugees.
Yeah.
And then, so Egypt said no. Jordan, their king is very pro-American.
Okay.
He's a hard man, though. Like, he goes and trains with the special forces. He's bombed ISIS. He flew an F-16 and bombed ISIS himself.
Yes. Oh, wow.
So he, at one point when there was like a couple million of protesters in the Capitol, and he called. I'm getting all this information from, before anyone thinks I'm not, I'll give you the name. Because I heard from some people who watch our videos that they need sources. So I'm getting this from CIG, Counterintelligence. I'm getting this from Middle East Spectator, War Noir, Global Intel Watch, Our Wars Today, Israel Now, and World Conflicts.
God damn.
And The Observer.
Boy reads a lot.
So all of them kind of say the same thing most of the time. So where was I?
You were talking about how nobody wants to take the refugees.
Yeah, so it's funny because nobody wants to take the refugees, but everyone's like sympathetic to their plight. But the Jordanian king, he had millions of protesters in the streets
Okay.
that were pro-Palestine, and they were calling for him to be ousted. And he called us, the U.S., and was like, hey, I need you to have some guys on standby to come and bail me out if they rush the presidential palace.
Damn.
And, of course, we have Bro, whoever's the press secretary for the White House who releases pictures, you're a fucking idiot. He released pictures unblurred of Delta Force.
What the fuck?
Of them meeting with Biden. Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Explain what Delta Force is.
So Delta Force is like the elite of the elite. Like, just to get in, it's a year. It takes a year. And if you fail something, you fail it. They don't tell you what you failed. They're just like, oh, thank you for your time. I believe they said, from what I know, they take people from every branch. You can be a Marine, you can be a Navy SEAL or whatever, but you can still apply to be Delta Force.
That's crazy.
They're literally the guys, if there's a hostage situation, no matter wherever in the world it is, they're the guys that show up and like get Americans out and kill people. They're the guys who do like snatch and grabs. They will pull in Panama when the dictator was like fighting it, when we invaded Panama, because he was like, you can't, I'm gonna close the Panama Canal.
Yeah.
And we were like, you just got invaded.
Yeah.
So they're the guys who went to go and snatch the dictator. Like, it's always them. Like, they're the guys you don't hear about.
Yeah. Yeah. And the guys you're not supposed to see.
Yeah, they absolutely smoke people. Anyway, so they're in Israel right now, and so is, I believe, one of the Navy SEAL teams. But they're as advisors for the hostages. They're not going to directly be in ground operations.
I'm sure.
But by today, Israel has already invaded Gaza. They cut off the main part because they're in the north and a little bit of the south. But Hamas is releasing footage of them launching RPGs at their tanks, infantry, like armor personnel carriers, shooting it out with infantry. And Hamas, though, with all the aid we've been giving them, they've been building tunnels. So their tunnel systems are stupidly complex. People are pissed off on what the Israelis are doing to the tunnels, though.
Yeah.
They're filling them in. They're not even sending fighters down there.
Fuck yeah.
So that's going on. And then,
and that's another argument, too, is like Hamas doesn't care about their people.
No, they don't.
They use them as human shields.
Because they will launch rockets from hospitals, schools, anything.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is that, like, Hamas is smart in the sense that what they do is they, a lot of their, like, not synagogues, but, like, their churches, their hospitals, their mosques, their hospitals, these sacred grounds, what they do is that's where they put their military bases. So that way, when Israel does attack them, they're able to say,
you blew
Israel,
up a hospital,
yeah,
you
Israel,
blew up our mosque.
Exactly. And they're able to do that. It's a PR move. It's a stunt, right? To get people to believe that that's actually what's going on.
Cause.
And to believe that that's what's going on, when in reality, it's not.
Yeah, and I get it. Like, everyone's upset about what's going on with the Palestinians because they're being displaced. They're being pushed out of their homes. Like, their piece of land is being absolutely destroyed right now. Like, it fucking sucks. It's terrible that the civilians have to go through this. But did you see the video of one of the paramedics when a Hamas fighter got smoked on the street? He ran up to the Hamas fighter, grabbed his rifle, ran it, and gave it to another militia fighter. And he was in paramedic clothing.
Damn.
So
didn't even explain.
Nope. And they said the dude who did get shot was still alive.
Well, the other thing, too, is that, like, they would be able to put their people down in the tunnels to protect them.
Yeah, they have massive tunnel complexes.
But they don't. And the reason why they don't do it is because it's for them.
Yeah.
It's for the Hamas leaders. It's for, like, these guys live in luxury. I saw videos.
Aren't they millionaires?
Oh, yeah. I saw videos of them on private jets and stuff like that.
Yeah, with like Rolexes and stuff.
Yeah, and there's another thing going around right now that that somehow the Palestinians are making AI photos
with the Israelis
of what Hamas is doing. And it's crazy to me that people would think that That's even like
It's-
remotely what's going on right now. What they do is that they'll post like somebody from Israel will post a photo, right, of or a video of what the of what Hamas is doing to their people. What Hamas will do, there's a lot of Hamas bots on Twitter and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
or on
hell
X. So what they do is they get that photo and they spam it. They
Yeah,
spam
every
it, they
account.
put it out. They put it out a lot, so that way X flags it and is like, okay, this is spam, and so the photo has to be removed.
So it's like if there's a real photo.
Exactly.
I got
So
you.
Hamas just bombs it, like maybe bomb is not the correct term to use.
Yeah, they've been
Um,
doing that a lot.
Yeah, right. Just spams it so that way the photo has to get removed because
Gotcha.
the algorithm automatically thinks that it's a fake photo or that
Gotcha.
it's some sort of spam, which is crazy. And then people are falling into that. People are falling into the idea that, like, you have to remember that there had been a ceasefire since June
Yeah,
between Hamas and
because Hamas, they will. So the Israelis have had a system called the Iron Dome, which shoots down incoming rockets because of Hamas.
Yep.
Because Hamas here and there would launch rockets into Israel. Israel would go and just kill like certain Hamas dudes that were involved in it. But then when they launched like 2,000 to 3,000 in one night, of course it overwhelms the
dome.
the Iron Dome
Yeah.
because, like, come on, 2,000
Yeah.
to 3,000
Yeah.
rockets. Like, bro, we got to reload at some point. We're gonna
Yeah.
run out of rounds.
Yeah, the other thing too is that like Israel, like because of the ceasefire, right? There wasn't supposed to be any conflict over there, since like I said, since June, and then that's when Palestine decided to like creep in there and do what they.
Yeah, and it's like so the State Department issued. I got this from CNN and Fox News. 50% increase in attacks. Well, a 50% increase in the possibility of Americans being attacked in foreign countries, as in like anywhere, France, anywhere in Europe, Mexico, because right now there's a lot of protests and stuff like that with Palestinians. You can watch videos online of the Jews, not Israelis. They will put up pictures of like, kidnapped kids or dead or kids that have been killed, and the Palestinians. I mean, I don't know what else you want me to call them because they, have the Palestinian flags with them. They will go and rip down the pictures
Yeah, of the lost kids.
of the lost kids or the
Well,
kidnapped kids.
They were doing that
kids.
shit in New York.
Yeah, exactly. And they would be doing that, and then they're doing massive protests. They wrote on the outside of the White House, "Fuck Joe Biden," and they were like shaking the fence, and it almost got to the point where so one of them jumped over it, and then of course the Secret Service snatched them up immediately. But like, there's millions to thousands of them protesting all over the world. They're very like, it's getting to the point that we might start seeing not just Palestinians, but Muslims as a whole start committing attacks against synagogues, against Jewish communities.
That's that whole thing where they had the day of the jihad.
Yeah.
Where they where the Palestinians and Hamas was trying to tell people to go out there.
I don't even think it was just the Palestinians, because one of the imams for, I think it was Iraq, was calling for Muslims to rise up and attack Jews. Because in China, I believe he was Muslim, stabbed a person from the Israeli consulate to death. In France, someone screaming out Allahu Akbar stabbed a teacher to death. And then I think someone did something with the synagogue. And so there's like a heightened sense of like kind of stress right now, because it could potentially, if not already, it's going to be a religious war.
Yeah.
It's going to be Jews fighting the Muslims. Like, back to square one, back to the 6-Day War, back to the War of Yom Kippur. Like, it's getting to a point where some people that I talk to or people that I listen to are talking about, like, maybe within the next year, even America can see a terrorist attack, because Hamas was saying, well, if America's going to be supplying the Israelis with arms and stuff like that and intelligence, why wouldn't they do a terrorist attack in America? And if you look at our border, which is very open, and I got this one from Fox News, I think they said ever since October 7th, they arrested 15 or 16 people on the terror watch list. And
coming through
the
Mexico.
southern border, coming through Mexico. And they said that that's what we can account for. That's not we can't always account for who's coming through. And so they're talking about that. There's a potential for like people like from the Middle East with like terrorist extremists or whatever, or extremists to come through the southern border and commit terrorist attacks in America. A dude in Dallas just got arrested because
Don't say that. I was just there.
no, Dallas or Houston.
Ah,
He was talking about
Houston.
one of those two. He was talking about
It was Sean.
shooting up a synagogue and posting pictures, and he was using like quotes from the Quran and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And it's has the potential to blow up the World War III. Like we're on the
brink.
brink of it right now.
But that's because we are in a perfect storm of shit going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
We've got everything going on in Russia and Ukraine.
Yep.
Where the United States is funding Ukraine.
We might start dialing it back, and the Ukraine's afraid because now the Russians are at wartime production when it comes to artillery shells.
Oh.
And so the Ukrainians, they can't meet that because they said they were. I think I read the statistic was a week they're launching like 100,000 artillery shells.
Russia is?
No, the Ukrainians.
Oh.
Or a month.
Damn.
A week or a month.
Holy shit.
Something like that. I forget.
Well, it's easy to do that when it's not on your dime. The other thing is that
as long as they're killing Russians.
Yeah. Well, you have Kim Jong-un going and meeting with Vladimir Putin.
You know why?
And having summits. Why?
Because the North Koreans have been giving the Russians artillery shells, and they've been giving them drones, and they've been giving them ammunition and arms because the Russians were like, wait, we don't have that much backstock. And the North Koreans were like, we got you. Because remember, they were buying from the Soviets.
Yeah.
So they have stockpiles of exactly the rounds that the Russians need.
And we've talked about this. This is what I see happening. So like we've been talking about how with now North Korea and Russia getting close and buddy, them going and potentially attacking their southern border, and North Korea attacking South Korea in some sort of way, and then that makes a perfect storm for China to jump in and invade Taiwan, and now you have the United States split 4 ways.
Yeah.
Because you have the war in Ukraine, the war in Israel, the war in South Korea, and then Taiwan. Like, it is the perfect storm.
It is 100%. Because it will be stretched too thin.
Especially at the point where we have such a weak economy, we have such a weak president, we have such a weak
southern border,
unity. There's no unity inside of our country. Like it does. Yeah. Like it is the perfect storm.
And then I believe Hezbollah in Lebanon was posting videos of anti-ship missiles. So they were talking about like sinking one of our aircraft carriers or one of our ships. And if they do that, we're gonna.
Oh yeah, that's war.
We're gonna lay the dick down.
Ask Japan.
Yep.
Ask Japan the last time somebody attacked our fucking.
Now all they do is
fleet.
draw anime, bro.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, right. Now they don't even want to fuck around and find out. They don't fuck around at all. All they do is anime.
Keep to themselves.
That's it. That's why they're so good in school. There's no wartime, man. They don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's getting crazy.
It's getting bad. It's getting bad, and not enough people are paying attention. Not enough people are listening. Not enough people are even concerned.
You know what kind of baffles me? People who are LGBTQ plus whatever
supporting Palestine.
Yes, when it's like if you go to the Middle East, like even in Saudi Arabia, you cannot openly be
gay
in
any sort of way.
Like,
any sort of way
that's
possible.
illegal.
They will it's literally illegal. They will throw you off of buildings. You would be killed. And the idea
like try walking around Gaza before Israel invaded, being with the rainbow flag or something, or being overly like. And
then people here in the United States are like, I saw a video of this guy climbing like a light post and taking down all the United States flags and replacing them with Palestinian flags.
Yep.
Like, and this has always been my thing, right? Is that everybody loves a country when they don't live there.
Mm-hmm.
People love Palestine, but don't want to live there.
Yep.
People love Mexico, don't want to live there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if you have pride for your country, go live in that country. Go support that country.
And go help it be better.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, don't try to come to the United States and make the United States Palestine.
And then have you seen a lot of YouTubers are getting into it?
Oh, really?
Like, of course you know who Hassan Piker is.
Okay.
So his group, remember how him and that guy H3H3
oh yeah
have a podcast together?
Okay. They don't anymore?
They're fighting it out because remember H3 he's Jewish. His wife is straight from Israel. She was in the IDF. So
his wife was in the IDF?
Yes.
Well, I guess you have to be in the idea.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Hassan's group, his audience, is like talking mad shit to Ethan because Hassan, of course, he's Turkish. He ignores the Armenian genocide. He's Turkish. They like,
Yeah.
his he kind of puts on he has a certain kind of audience that he brings to himself. So they were completely shitting on Ethan about like everything that's going on because Ethan, of course, that's his people. He's from Israel. He's gonna defend his people.
Them. Yeah, of course.
And they were just clowning on him and like fucked up shit.
I haven't seen it. I haven't paid attention. I've seen like when I'm on YouTube myself or I'm on something. You know what I mean? I've seen his face come up a lot, but I didn't realize that it was going on that bad. Man, that sucks, man.
Here, mark this time down. I gotta take cards back.
Okay. Fucking Sean. Why were you taking it apart?
It doesn't even work.
It does work.
Does it?
I use it.
Why isn't it turning on?
Did you fuck it up?
Oh.
It's solar. It has to be in light.
Okay. So
that means it doesn't work.
No, it absolutely works.
Essentially, they were completely clowning on him.
God, that sucks, dude. That sucks because I like.
And you know what's funny? Antifa was protecting the pro-Palestinian protesters, but Antifa is anti-Nazi, and some of the pro-Palestinian protesters were waving Nazi flags, as in like
Yeah.
and they're screaming "fuck you" at Jews.
Yeah.
The
Well,
Nazis would scream "fuck you" at Jews.
Yeah. Hypocrisy.
And I'm like,
Hypocrisy.
I thought we were punching Nazis in the face.
Yeah. It's so hypocritical, dude. And then the saying, from the river to the sea.
Oh yeah, that means completely wiping.
That means
out
wiping
Israel.
them out. Wiping out Israel. That
I
means,
guess explain it.
So the Palestinian, their mantra, right? What they use is their like, I don't want to call it a slogan, but like their saying is from the river to the sea, which is literally meaning the river and the sea where Israel sits in between both of those things. So they're saying from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. That means wiping out everything in the middle of there and making it all Palestinian. Making it all Palestinian. And so that literally is talking about death to all Jews that live in that area.
And like, I get it. Like, what's going on to the civilians in Palestine fucking sucks. Terrible.
Yeah.
But it's like...
But the thing is that Israel warns them. Israel
100%.
Israel was flying planes over and dropping pamphlets down.
Oh, and don't forget, they do knocks before they bomb a building.
Yes. Like, they literally go and tell them, like, hey, you need to get your women, children, like, they all need to get out of here, only soldiers, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to stay and fight.
Or we can't forget when they claim the Israelis blew up the hospital, when there's video of one of the Hamas rockets landing in the parking
going
lot.
out, yeah. It was, and people like Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar were talking about how the Israelis went and bombed
a
hospital in Palestine. And first of all, it never hit the hospital. It hit the parking lot. And second, it
only killed one person.
It wasn't even an Israeli bomb. Like, it wasn't a rocket. It wasn't an Israeli rocket. It was Hamas is sending out these wild rockets that they cannot control.
Unguided, yep.
They don't know where they're going. They're just firing, hoping that they hit
something important.
Yeah, exactly. And there's literally video of the rockets being fired and one going haywire and just coincidentally landing in the same area.
Yeah, because if it was realistically the Israelis dropping a bomb on the hospital wouldn't be there.
No. And that's the other thing, too, is that the Israelis don't use their air warfare against the Palestinians. Because if they did...
Oh, they do it right now.
Well,
you mean...
Explain. They do it to a certain level.
They don't go... Back. Yeah, they don't go all out.
They hold themselves back a lot.
They'll just bomb one building.
Because the Israelis could wipe out...
Easy.
Gaza.
They can just bomb every building.
Easy.
Just keep dropping bombs.
Because their jets and everything they use are so good.
It's basically like fighting. Hamas doesn't have an air force. Hamas doesn't have tanks. Hamas doesn't have armored vehicles. Hamas just has people, rockets, just whatever a regular infantryman would
And
carry.
hope.
And hope.
And hope. That's it.
And Israel has tanks, there's armored personnel carriers, jets, helicopters, a navy.
Yeah. Like, and that's why people are like, oh, like they're doing so bad to all of these. Like, no. They're holding back. Like, they're holding back a lot.
Yeah.
When they could simply go in there and wipe out, I mean, everything.
Mhm.
They could. They have that leeway because
And
the
like,
Palestinians don't have that.
we can't ignore in an aspect that now maybe it is a religious war. Maybe the Muslims, maybe the Jews are super pissed off. And now they're like, oh, fuck us, fuck you. Like, oh, if you're Muslim, fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it becomes very
it becomes
like hate versus hate, hardcore.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, because there's videos of Jews now yelling and throwing shit at like Palestinians and stuff like that. And
I think
and that's, it's hard to look at and look against when you realize like they went like Hamas went and killed a bunch of kids at a fucking concert.
But then people are gonna say, well, that's not Palestine. That's not what Palestine wants. And I'm like, I mean, I get it, but like,
no, that's bullshit because they voted for Hamas.
In 2006?
Yeah, to take leadership.
Even before then, I read that they voted for them to take leadership.
Yeah, so like Hamas literally has leadership of Palestine. Like, they
do whatever they want with the aid.
Everything.
The millions of dollars we send every year. They built, instead of building schools and, also like helping their people rise up, nah, we're going to build tunnels. We're going to buy even more weapons.
Yeah. It's all war, all the time. That's all their money goes to. And like idiots, we send money to them. Like idiots, like fools. And then now we're going to have to go fight them because it's going to happen. It's going to happen. We're going to have to step in. That's why people who, for some reason, still think NATO's a good idea, it's fucking crazy to me because that's what gets us in all these wars. Yeah. So like we're going to have to step in. Like, just take a look at it. We are on the brink of World War III.
100%.
Absolutely, 100%. No matter what way you look at it, no matter what way you think of it, it is on the brink, and everybody needs to pay attention. Pay attention. And that's why that ties us into Tuesday's episode, where you need to pay attention about who you're fucking voting for right now. You need to pay attention about where we're sending money. Don't believe this. You are blinded by social arguments. We are blinded by these social arguments that go around that have no justification to anybody else but the United States.
It's like the Romans, kind of like the gladiator games and all that. That now for us, it's going to be football.
It distracts you.
Us fighting each other.
It distracts you. It distracts you, and it puts you in a place where where you feel like you don't have to think about these things, but you absolutely do, because you know what happens when we go to the next world war. It will be you who is fighting it. It will be you who is not watching two guys rambling. It'll be you who is out there
watching the line.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be a very different type of thing, and that is where we have lost this generation, and even our parents are so far away from any kind of actual communism that there's no fear of it anymore,
or just conflict in general.
Yeah. Like, there's not been conflict like World War II.
It's just been little skirmishes here and there.
Exactly. And it's unfortunate, but it's inevitable that we will see it happen, and I almost guarantee it'll be in our lifetime.
Oh, yeah, 100%. There's no doubt in my mind.
It'll be next 5 years.
Easy. Maybe even less.
Yeah, very possible.
Like, what's to say, like, because Iran always jokes about it, they have sleeper cells in America, and that it's just a matter of time before they commit a terrorist attack.
Yeah,
but we give them their money, right? And we help them with the nuclear program, right?
Yep. And that is why, like, God, I just wish, do not be blinded. Don't be blinded. Don't be blinded. There are bigger things going on right now than abortion rights and getting a voter ID, and like there's so many bigger things out there, and that is exactly what they want you to do. They want you to be stuck in these ideas and these social issues, so that way you are not able to be ready to fight when they come up out of the dark.
100%.
Absolutely. And do your own research. do it a little bit. You don't. Yeah, I'm not telling you have to spend fucking 8 hours a day reading about this shit. Just read a little bit. Look at this stuff that's going on. Look at China moving ships into the seas of Taiwan. And it's just a.
And Taiwan will affect you because they make 93% of microprocessors, whether that be computers, cars, TVs, cameras, phones, whatever.
Yep. So, and China's like, oh, we're just doing a training. Sounds a little reminiscent of somebody else.
Of the Russians.
Yeah, Russians going down to the border of Ukraine saying, oh, we're just going down there for a training.
Yep. And the next thing you know, they're fucking invading.
Yeah. So I think what happens is the war in Israel and Palestine is going to get ramped up. It's going to get hotter down there. It's going to become more brutal. And then we'll wake up one morning to North Korea has either started pushing the line, the DMZ. They have started pushing it, or they start attacking on it.
Yeah.
And we will wake up one morning to that for sure.
Oh yeah, because it'll be the North Koreans are gonna start it off with a massive artillery barrage.
Yeah.
Because you know how many fucking artillery guns they have on the DMZ?
I couldn't imagine.
It's like 2,000 to 3,000.
Jesus Christ.
And some of them have because Seoul, the capital, is only like 30 to 45 miles from the DMZ. Oh, and you know the South Koreans, the North Koreans are also building tunnels. The South Koreans military has found some that go under the DMZ and pop up in a village or pop up in a town.
Oh,
so they're gonna push because they noticed like weird earthquakes, and then they went and looked. And anyway, so they're tunneling under the DMZ, so when wartime comes, they can pop up behind. Like we're talking, not a small tunnel. We're talking big enough to completely house like an armored division, like tanks, vehicles, everything.
Really? You could drive through this?
They even have ventilation. Because some of the people in the forced labor camps, somehow it's gotten out that they work like trying to clear tunnels and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then from there, after that happens, China will invade Taiwan, and then that will be what officially kicks off World War II.
Yeah, because then Iran will, all right, I'm going to invade Israel, but don't be mistaken, Israel, they don't care if they need to nuke somebody, they will. Like there's no doubt in my mind, if push came to shove, Israel will nuke Tehran.
You think so?
100%. Israel is the only country that gives no fucks when it comes to their survival.
That's what terrifies me. That's what terrifies me about a World War III is nuclear war. That is where.
That's it.
Or
they said they're just going to cyber attack our grid and completely take down everything.
But then that's also it, though. You know what I mean? Like
no cell phones, no nothing, no first responders. No freaking power to go to the water treatment plant. No water in your pipes. No power in your home. No heating. No AC.
And nobody knows what to do when that shit happens.
Yep. No freaking vehicles at the gas station. Not gonna be able to pump gas because there's no electricity unless you have a hand siphon. But then they're probably gonna allocate that to law enforcement only so they can fill up their cars. But then how are you gonna call the cops if you can't charge your cell phone or the cell towers?
What about the way the highway systems are set up to be able to
land aircraft
to everything? The tanks can sit on top of the asphalt. Yeah. Did you read about that?
Yeah.
How the tanks can sit on the asphalt and use the asphalt and not ruin it. Obviously over time, right? If it's used a few times. But like literally the highway systems were set up for wartime. In the event that something were to happen in the United States, we're ready to fucking rock and roll. So if you're not ready to fucking rock and roll, it might be a little bit time to get ready. It might be a little time to...
And not just guns, like freaking... Learn how to purify water. Buy some freaking, seeds. Maybe a couple months worth of food. Buy some seeds. Learn how to garden.
Learn how to do that.
Be self-sufficient. Don't rely on the government. Yeah, you rely on the government, you die.
100%.
Look at what happened to the Israelis. They weren't able to get law enforcement or freaking anybody to go and help them when their doors were getting kicked in and they were getting killed.
Yep.
I think some of them even said it took 15 hours before they saw a soldier.
That's ridiculous. That's fucking terrible.
Yep.
I hope that this episode is a little bit of an eye-opener for you guys. Listen to it and take what we're saying. And do some research. Do some research. Look at things. Like, don't be blinded by everything that the media has out there for you. There's way more important things going on in the world, and you need to be ready.
Because anything can happen. Even for like you're in a car accident, or you see a car accident, someone severed their artery, and you don't have tourniquets in your car, and that person dies. It's kind of on you.
God damn, that's on you. Get some fucking tourniquets.
And first aid training.
Yeah, just be ready, man. Just be ready. There's a lot of things going on right now, and it's terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
It is terrifying. So if you get anything from this week, do some research, look around, stay open, stay vigilant, watch yourselves, watch your families.
Especially here in San Antonio with the crime rate going up.
Very badly. Thank you.
Someone just got shot in the face last night.
Where?
They pulled up next to two girls at a stoplight at 3 a.m. and they shot both of them.
The girls?
No, someone in another vehicle.
Oh my god.
And I was talking to one of my friends, and he was saying that like it's becoming a common occurrence where cars will pull up next to cars and shoot them, and they can't. Well, they go on the highway and they don't have plates,
Jeez.
And it's like a common car.
Stay vigilant, guys. Stay vigilant. The world is burning. The world is burning. And the quicker everybody wakes up and everybody pays attention, the quicker we can do something about it. But we cannot do anything until everybody wakes up. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell us your ideas. Tell us your thoughts. What do you think about what's going on right now everywhere around the world? Put it down in the comments below. Let's talk about it. I hope you enjoyed this a little bit of a somber episode because of what's going on. But just because it's somber, just because the medicine's bad doesn't mean you don't take the medicine.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You've got to do these things. We've got to talk about it. You cannot not talk about it. But please like, subscribe. We'll keep y'all as updated as we get updated and as more things going on. But please like, share, comment, subscribe, and then we will see you again next week. Bye.
See you guys.